Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I apologize if the last video came off a bit jumbled, but now that I'm all set up, I have no excuses. I hope you all enjoy the video. Leave any thoughts you have in the comments, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content and want to see more, and let's just dive right in. The biblical semantics of what constitutes the Antichrist, like much else in scripture, is overall pretty vague. Is it a single entity? A philosophy or larger functioning body that sows doubt about the validity of Christ? I mention this because I'm sure should this video gain any traction, there will be a bevy of opinions on why my frame of reference for what constitutes the Antichrist is in error, and will be a major critique of my thoughts here. But I digress. I'm not looking to any strictly theological or scriptural definition of the Antichrist. My definition is quite simple. A figure that represents values completely antithetical to the character of Christ, but despite this, garners almost absolute control of the Christian populace politically. Y'all can smell what I'm cooking up here. Donald Trump has a long and public history of being an actual bad person. Yes, Orange Man is actually really bad. Well, only if by bad you're looking through a moral lens. Or a number of other lenses, but specifically, I'm focusing on morality in this video. Frequent flyer with and close friend of Jeffrey Epstein, prolific sexual harasser, spousal rapist, and likely regular rapist as well, swindler, con artist, greedy and narcissistic far beyond decency, and the list goes on. I mean, none of this was a secret, really. In fact, it became part of the brand. For at least the last 40 years, Donald Trump has been the perfect epitomization of greed and self-servitude, to the point of becoming a trope in American cinematic villainy. Everybody knew this, and yet Donald Trump managed to capture the hearts, minds, and votes of the majority of the supposed Jesus-following population. He's been called God's chosen candidate by Christian leaders, hailed as the only righteous choice, despite having never been a man of virtue in any capacity. Church leaders create him a moral reputation amongst their congregation, and their congregation listens. Obviously, other biases influenced a sudden swell of support for Donald Trump in the Christian community. But there was a major contributing factor that truly solidified his position within the community throughout the entire nation. In January 2016, Donald Trump received an endorsement from one of the largest figures in the evangelical community, Jerry Falwell Jr. Falwell Jr., former president of Liberty University and son of, Jerry Falwell Sr., who was another massive figure in the evangelical community and had some quite interesting takes on some important topics, like his thoughts on 9/11.
The abortionists have got to bear some burden for this, because God will not be mocked, and when we destroy 40 million little innocent babies, we make God mad. I really believe that the pagans and the abortionists and the feminists and the gays and the lesbians who are actively trying to make that an alternative lifestyle, the ACLU, People for the American Way, all of them who tried to secularize America, I point the finger in their face and say, you helped this happen.
Sorry for the tangent. Anyways, Falwell Jr. has led quite a hypocritical personal life, of which I'm not going to delve into the details here, as now is not an appropriate moment for discussions of cuckoldry and predatory soccer mom. However, his salacious personal life led him to have Michael Cohen, formerly Trump's closest attorney and self-reported fixer, to be his own personal attorney. It's now speculated after some recent revelations that either Michael Cohen on behalf of Donald Trump or Trump himself leveraged this connection to secure the endorsement. Whether or not that was the case, Falwell Jr.'s endorsement of Trump created a cascade effect of more and more mainstream Christian leaders rallying behind the president-to-be. After my initial shock in 2016, it's been a bizarre experience seeing how much further and further Christians degrade their moral character in order to sate the misdeeds of an alleged billionaire who does not share their beliefs and merely has postured that he has for the last 5 years in order to score political points. It's disheartening to see how many people to this day continue to contradict their beliefs in order to stand behind someone who pretends he cares about the same policies they do, but has a long documented history of living a completely contradictory lifestyle. Now, if you happen to be one of those people who is led to follow Trump because of the advice of those you look up to, I don't necessarily think it's your fault that you got here. You put your faith in church leaders, family, and elders to steer you towards a direction that is virtuous and moral, and frankly, they have failed you. For close to half a century, the sour moral character of Donald Trump has been on full display, and he relished in it. The wives he's cheated on, the people he's screwed over, half a century of misdeeds, washed away. By who? Who decided that none of the things he has done in the past matter? And for it to be taken so much further and him to be viewed as some sort of morally imbued, virtuous person is, almost insanity. So here we are. November 11th, 2020 at time of recording, and Joe Biden has won the presidency despite a majority of evangelical Christians voting for Donald Trump. The reaction hasn't been great from those who voted for Donald Trump.
The media said what? The media said Joe Biden's president.
We're at a weird place in this country, where people's faith in God or Jesus has been replaced by a faith in a morally bankrupt cartoon supervillain that's never stepped into a church off camera. I'm not looking to change anybody's mind with this video, as I know that an uncomfortably large portion of the Christian community is virtue signaling hypocrites who aren't guided by their morals, and the rest aren't really looking to have their beliefs challenged by some guy on YouTube. But I'm hoping down the road, when people are feeling disillusioned with their beliefs as the MAGA craze dies down, people that do actually care about their morals and don't just say, "What would Jesus do?" for the street cred, will look back and learn from the experience of betraying their moral principles to suit the agenda of billionaire politicians. But that's just a bit far-fetched, isn't it? The modern-day Pharisees have complete control over the flock. Thanks for watching another video. I hope y'all enjoyed. I plan on making some more long-form video essays down the road, taking a deeper dive into some of the stuff I talk about in these shorter videos, but I'm still getting my feet wet with this particular content and want to deliver more consumable pieces for the time being. Congrats to everyone who voted for Joe Biden, party on safely, and I'm anxious and excited to see where the next 4 years take us. That's all for now. If y'all did enjoy the video, consider liking or subscribing. I don't know. I'm not the boss of you. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you're staying safe, have a great day, and be the best you can be today. Bye.
Woo!